Hey everyone, I'm Miss Lopez.
And I'm Miss Mayhew. And today we are going to go over the Radish Seed FRQ grading rubric so that you can grade yourself and kind of see how you did. So part A was asking you to identify two of these things that were held constant. So in order to get those 2 points, you would have had to listed any two of these things in this table. You could have said that the size of the container was held constant, the material that the container was made of, the growth medium, the type of seed, age of seed, size of seed, number of seeds, temperature, light, pH, salinity, or the initial moisture or humidity. So you could get up to 2 points for saying up to two of those things.
Okay, so in part B, it was asking you to identify which container was the control. Now remember, your control is your baseline. It is what you're going to compare everything else to. So ask yourself, what do seeds normally grow in or normally grow with? And the answer would be water, or in other words, containers with no oil added whatsoever. There shouldn't be oil in the soil. Even though that rhymes, there shouldn't be oil there. So your average normal condition is the seed that does not contain any drops of oil, or you could have simply identified it as container A.
So part C was asking you to make a prediction on the germination of the seeds. Now, if you looked at your table, you could recognize that there's a pattern. As the amount of oil increased, the germination of the seeds decreased. So on your table, you could see that the highest that they've given you for the oil has 3 seeds germinate. So you'd assume that if you continue to increase that oil, you would be following the same trend and the germination would continue to decrease. So if you predicted anything less than 3, that would earn you a point.
All right, and the last one, part D. Part D was asking you to explain your prediction or explain your justification in the prediction that you made. So you can earn partial credit, either 1, 2, or if you get all 3, then 3 points from each of these bullets listed. So the first bullet listed is if you explained that as the number of oils, drops of oils increased, the number of leaves decreased. That would be 1 point. Whether you did it in part D or if you accidentally wrote it in part C, that's fine too. You still have it in your answer document, so that's okay. The second point would be coming from acknowledging that in container E, according to the data table, only had those 3 leaves germinating. You didn't just pull a number out of thin air or out of a hat. The reason why you justified 3 or less was because the last container, the last known data point, had 3 seeds germinating. So that would earn you a second point. Now the last point, and this is the tricky one. Remember when we talked in your lab design video, we talked about always try to have 3 when you're trying to explain something, 3 ideas. So in this case, this would be idea number 1, number 2, and then this would have been number 3. And number 3 was tricky. Number 3 required you to kind of think and apply more at a biology level and make that connection. So for that third point, you would say when it's asked, you would talk about how, connecting it to biology, oil would either reduce or limit the amount of water, air, or nutrients that the seed needed in order to germinate. So you can talk about how the oil is blocking necessary nutrients, water, air, but now you're connecting the reason for the limited number of seeds sprouting with the biological reason of why. Why was it only 3? Well, because the oil was somehow blocking the seed from doing necessary functions or getting necessary nutrients, gas, whatever, to be able to sprout normally like it did to the control. Like I said, This last point, really tricky. And a lot of times this is what separates a student who gets a 5 from a student who gets the 4, or a student who gets the A and a student who gets the B. And it's always why I'm not getting, why am I, you know, I want that A, I'm working really hard, I'm studying all the time, what am I missing? I would say 9 times out of 10, it's because there's that third idea that's missing, that connection that's missing anytime you have an explain question. So now that you have the rubric, go back, look at how you did and grade yourself. We are not going to grade you on how you wrote the FRQ. Instead, you have a reflection piece to write. And the rubric is attached to the reflection piece. So again, we're not going to grade you on how you did on this FRQ. We're going to grade you on how you respond and how you reflect on how you did this FRQ. So use that guiding information that we have on there. We hope this information was helpful. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be more than happy to help you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.